Digestion in man or human beings that usually takes place in the human digestive system. This system has got an alimentary canal and associated glands with it, which makes the process of digestion completed here only. Now, this alimentary canal is a long tube-like structure which starts from the mouth and goes till anus. Humans show the holozoic type of nutrition. In this nutrition, the food undergoes a 5-step process. In this, first it is taken in, ingested, then it is digested, broken down into smaller pieces, and then absorbed and assimilated, that is utilized by the body cells, and finally adjusted out of the body. So the whole system starts with the mouth. Mouth is doing the dual function. First, it is doing the step 1, ingestion, taking the food inside the mouth. But then it also starts the process of digestion. So basically, this mouth opens into an open chamber, a cavity, and we call that cavity as the buccal cavity. Here you will find the teeth, which will break down food into smaller, simpler pieces. Then there will be salivary glands, a bunch of salivary glands all around the mouth, which releases the watery-like fluid called saliva. And then we have got a muscular structure called tongue. This tongue helps to roll the food, definitely taste the food, but it basically mixes food with the saliva. Now, when this watery fluid saliva is there, it is doing an important work. That is, it is holding some biological enzymes here, which will take the process of digestion of carbohydrates. Now the food is pushed forward due to the rhythmic contraction and expansion of muscular walls, and this tube-like structure that will connect the mouth with the stomach is called the esophagus or the food pipe. Now here in esophagus, this bolus-like food, the small churned down pieces of food is called the bolus of food, are slowly in a contracting way pushed down into this esophagus, and this movement, rhythmic movement of contraction and expansion of food pipe is called the peristalsis. This movement is peristaltic movement, and this process is peristalsis. So we can say nicely that peristalsis causes the rhythmic contraction of muscles, causes the pushing of food into the stomach, and this is done in alimentary canal part 2, that is esophagus. Now comes a J-shaped structure of the alimentary canal, which is called the stomach. Stomach is a muscular wall, and it has got, the inner walls have got too many cells, which you will study later on. But basically understand that these walls of stomach, they releases a digestive juice, and this digestive juice is called the gastric juices because it has been released through a gland called gastric glands. So we can say the stomach wall have gastric glands. These gastric glands will release gastric juices, and this juice is basically HCl, hydrochloric acid, the mucus, and the very important, the pepsin, which is actually present in an inactive form, the pepsinogen. When pepsinogen gets this HCl activates this pepsinogen and makes it pepsin. Now this pepsin is going to break proteins into peptones. This is a very important section. In stomach, this gastric juice is releasing, number 1, the pepsin enzyme that will do the digestion of proteins. But this pepsin is not directly present like that. It is already present in inactive form as pepsinogen. But when pepsinogen gets this HCl, which is also released by the gastric glands, then it will form and it will do the business of digestion, number 2, that is breakdown of proteins into simpler forms. And this mucus, a very important role it is playing. It is protecting the inner lining of the stomach by the action of acid. So if acid is being released more, if the gastric juices are too harsh, then this mucus lining may not be able to protect the inner wall of the stomach, thus causing the peptic ulcers. Liver is an umbrella-like gland. It is the largest gland, and here it is going to secrete a yellow-colored fluid called bile juice. Now, these bile juice is alkaline in nature. So again, the acidic property of the stomach is to be neutralized by the alkaline properties, and they contain salts. Here the emulsification of fats, that is breakdown of fat into smaller globules, fat globules, is being done by this bile juice. It's further been taken by pancreas. Pancreas are also the large glands which they lie parallel to that stomach part. They are pancreas, as the name suggests. Pancreas will release pancreatic juice. This juice has got enzymes also, the trypsin, the amylase and the lipase, and these also work only in the alkaline medium. Bicarbonate ions are secreted here. The duodenum walls, the first part of the intestine, the small intestine, will receive all this liquid, the pancreatic juice, the bile juice here, and the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates and fats are completed here. The chyme that is coming out of the stomach is acidic in nature because उसमें HCl था. Now it need to be neutralized of its acidic properties, which will be done in the next part, that is the small intestine section, where the juices from liver and pancreas will neutralize it. The liver releases the bile juice. Bile juice has bile pigments and bile salts. This makes the whole juice as alkaline, and it will do one important thing, the third part of the digestion, that is the emulsification of large fat globules into smaller fat globules. Now here also it is supported by pancreas. Pancreas are also the glands. It is like a dog's tongue, and here it is releasing the pancreatic juice. My dear students, pancreas is an organ which is doing dual function. It is exocrine in nature as well as it is endocrine in nature when it releases insulin. Abhi we are here focusing on the exocrine function, that is it is releasing the pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice has got trypsin, which will break protein into peptides. It is releasing lipase, which is emulsifying the fats. It is also releasing the pancreatic amylase, which is going to do the digestion of carbohydrate. Along with this, in these walls, the inner walls of the intestine, the small intestine, some intestinal juices are also releases, which is basically more or less 98% almost water, but it has got mucus and enzyme also. This intestinal juice is Succus entericus, and it is released by intestinal glands. And what will be the nature? Definitely it is again alkaline in nature, because these pancreatic enzymes, the trypsins, the lipase basically will not work in acidic medium. Small intestine is the section where the digestion was also happening. Then it has got the villi. The structure villi helps to do the absorption work done, which is, I think, the third section, the ingestion, digestion, and after digestion it was absorption. So absorption of digested food material, whatever was broken down in the upper sections, will be absorbed here in these walls. Up in these walls, since it has been given a big task, so they have got numerous finger-like projections called villi. Whatever the body has absorbed, if it has not been utilized, then it is all waste. So this is another important section, that is assimilation of food will happen here. After digestion, after absorption, the assimilation comes over there, where absorbed food is utilized by the cell. Now what work the cell does? The cell has to repair itself. उसका जो भी कोई worn out part होता है उसको repair करना है, उसको ठीक करना है, उसकी मरम्मत करनी है. सेल को लगातार काम करना है. It needs energy, it needs to grow also, it needs to divide also.